Imagine if after decades of careful saving, you found yourself retired, but with one problem. You're not going to run out of money, you have plenty. In fact, you have more money than you want to spend. But while you were diligently building that nest egg, you chose to forego the experiences that you'd always dreamed of so that you could get to retirement. That's the hidden crisis I'm here to talk about today. We're often warned about running out of money, but what if the real challenge is not living fully with what you've earned? A study done by New York Life found that 16% of retirees withdraw from their investment portfolios on a systematic or ongoing basis, and 30% don't withdraw money from their savings or investments at all. This is consistent with another study by the Employee Benefit Research Institute, which found that the median retiree across all age groups in the study spent less than their annual income for the year, meaning the median retiree continues to save in retirement. This means that too many retirees miss out on truly enjoying the fruits of their labor, missing chances to have meaningful experiences, create lasting memories, and to be generous with their money. So first, I'm going to explain why this happens, and then I'm going to share some practical solutions to make sure that you don't sacrifice the freedom and joy that you're saving for in the first place. Workers spend their whole career trying to maintain a gap between their income and expenses so that they have money saved for retirement. And it's hard psychologically to flip that switch and start pulling money out. The idea of intentionally shrinking your net worth by spending from it is completely counter to the mindset that you've spent the previous decades adhering to. Underlying this reluctance to spend for most people is the fear of running out of money, which is completely valid. But it creates this interesting dynamic that I've seen play out for a lot of retirees. They finally feel like they have enough saved to quit working, so they call it quits and enter retirement. But they're hesitant to spend in those early retirement years because they want to make sure that they have enough to last their full retirement. Well, after years of not spending what they probably could, their investments continue to grow, and it becomes clear that they're not going to run out of money. They're going to have plenty to last them in even the most optimistic longevity scenarios. But now they're past their prime retirement years, and maybe health issues are popping up, or fatigue, or any number of things, and they aren't as physically spry as they once were. Now, even though they have plenty of retirement funds, they don't have the physical health to enjoy it, and so they don't spend it. And it continues growing until it eventually gets passed on as an inheritance. And if we look at the data of spending among retirees, it supports this idea of declining spending through mid to late retirement years before slightly ticking up at the end of life, mostly due to additional health and long-term care costs. Retirement researcher David Blanchett has called this pattern the retirement spending smile because the shape of the spending resembles a smile. Now, a lot of retirees and a lot of financial advisors would say that dying with a lot of money is a successful outcome. You lived your life and you didn't run out of money, so that's a win. Now you can pass that extra money on to your kids, family, or charity. But as I already touched on, I see missed opportunity. We work for most of our lives, and a lot of people have this someday mindset. Someday I can actually enjoy my life more, whether that means retirement or working less or traveling or spending more time with family. But for now, I've got to grind it out at work. But for a lot of people, someday never comes. We're not guaranteed tomorrow, and if tomorrow does come, our health may not be where we expected it to be. So in the case where someone dies with a lot of unspent money, to me, that means that they could have retired sooner, or they could have enjoyed their younger years more, or they could have given more money to their kids and charity while they were still alive to actually see the fruits of those gifts. So from that lens, I think that the most successful retirement outcome would be to run out of money on the day that you pass away. That would mean that you planned perfectly and got to use every dollar you earned in life while you were still living. Now, of course, that sounds great in theory, but in practice, it's never going to work perfectly. But I think it's a worthy goal to move away from the fear of running out of money towards the ideal of dying with zero. This concept was explored in depth in a book called Die with Zero by Bill Perkins, and I'll link to that in the description. To this point, we've been talking about this conceptually, but how do we take some practical steps in the direction of dying with zero? I'm going to give you a few evidence-based ideas that can help. First, since the underlying fear is the fear of running out of money, an effective solution would be to have more of your retirement income be guaranteed rather than in riskier investments. And in fact, there is some research that supports the idea that retirees with more guaranteed income spend more money. So how do you get more guaranteed income? Well, in my opinion, the best way is to delay Social Security until age 70 in most cases. Now, I've got a video all about situations where you shouldn't delay until 70, but for most people, delaying until 70 is a great financial move. The reason this works so well is that Social Security is not only guaranteed for life, but it also adjusts annually by inflation, and it's the only source of income that has both of those characteristics. Another option for creating guaranteed income could be with a Treasury bond ladder, or if you want some inflation protection, a TIPS ladder. Now, both of these investments are backed by the US government, so they can be very low risk, and you can build the ladder to generate the amount of annual income that you want. The downside here is that you could still outlive your bond ladder. If you build a ladder to last until age 90, but you're still living beyond that, you may have a problem. Now, there are ways to help solve for this problem. For example, you could have some additional money invested outside of that ladder that could support those later years. Or you could purchase a deferred income annuity to act as longevity insurance. Another option related to that would be to purchase an immediate annuity upon retiring. An annuity is going to pay you income for the rest of your life, but you have to be careful because a lot of annuities are high in fees and unnecessarily complicated. So it's important to get advice from a financial planner who's a fiduciary, meaning they have a legal obligation to work in your best interest if an annuity is something that you're interested in. Another effective solution to help solve this underspending problem is to have a solid financial plan in place. Study after study has shown that those working with an advisor feel more peace of mind and confidence about their retirement plan. This is partially due to placing the burden of creating the plan on the advisor who has expertise and training in that domain. But also, advisors have tools that can show savers their likely retirement outcomes. With my clients, we run projections showing the likelihood of not running out of money under a wide range of investment scenarios. This gives us some good data on the level of spending a retiree's investments could support. We also look at historical environments and see how a retiree's portfolio would have fared in that environment. For example, what if you retired right before the Great Depression? Or during the period of high inflation in the 70s. When you can stress test your retirement plan like this, it builds confidence about what's possible and how much you need, which then allows you to spend more freely today. Without a plan in place, it's natural to feel like you should save every marginal dollar. But this creates stress and anxiety about the future that doesn't need to be there. And worse, it can rob you of the joy that saving was meant to provide in the first place. So you end up with money that you never spend and years that you never fully enjoy. All right, so we talked through the problem of underspending in retirement, and we identified a better way to approach retirement spending. Getting as close as you can to dying with zero. This allows you to enjoy the fruits of your labor more. You can spend and give more while you're still living, and the practical steps that can help someone move in that direction are to create more guaranteed retirement income and to create a robust, comprehensive financial plan. If you see the appeal here, but you don't have a trusted fiduciary financial planner to help, then reach out to me. My firm, Trek Wealth Planning, creates custom retirement plans for our clients to help them feel confident about their spending in retirement. You can go to trekwealth.com or scan the QR code for a free planning session where we can see what's possible. I'll also include a link below in the description. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button so that more people will find this content. And make sure that you subscribe for more content helping you make smarter money decisions.